Hey, you awesome people. Thank you for checking in. This is going to be my review of 2024. The background to this is that I wanted to do this video actually already at the beginning of this year. And so I started to write notes at the beginning of the year, trying to, like, every time I went through something, write down a lesson for myself. And this is kind of, I just put down basically short notes, sometimes just a couple of words, and sometimes it was more elaborate. And we were prompted now in the Tinker group to post our year in review, and this is my one that I wanted to do as a video. And the reason why I'm doing it as a video is because this is something that I have been trying to train myself at, is to be better at presenting at stuff as a video format. And it comes slowly, maybe, to get better. I don't know, we'll see. I even have like editing software for doing this stuff now, so that's fun. Well, I have 4 different categories. So how I did this was I have all these notes, and then I just took all these notes, I put it into ChatGPT, and I asked it to put it into different categories: wealth, lifestyle, scale, and leadership. And here we're gonna go and see how this goes and what do you think about it. Maybe you can take something from this. For me, it is cathartic. I'm trying to distill this as I'm going, and obviously use this as lessons for my future too. So we're going to start with the category of wealth, and I have the list here, so I'm going to read this as we go. Number 1 in this list, and I'm probably just going to put this like here, so you can read this together with me. But yeah, first point is wealth, and the first category is wealth, and the first point is money is the metric of your impact. And I don't know where I picked this up, but I found that pretty good statement. The money you make is just a reflection of the impact you have. And sometimes that impact is bigger, sometimes it's less. But yeah, money is just going to get there if you have enough of an impact. And number 2 here is, this is more particular, but we did a rebuild at the gym, and what I learned from that was that there was not like very clear financing on it, and I could have saved myself stress and money by taking action way earlier. And I guess the real lesson here is that don't procrastinate those hard conversations or the contacts that needs to be done on a very early stage. And I'm tend to be more like doing stuff when things are under pressure and sometimes last minute. And I think it's better for me long term to not be in those positions, because I don't have the luxury anymore of being in that position, meaning I have other people that I'm responsible for, meaning obviously my team, but mostly I'm thinking about my family. So if I'm doing things in last minute, it will impact them in that way that I need to be physically gone, mentally gone, because I'm stressed on something, because I didn't take it early on, and now have to steal quality time, and instead of just being very proactive on it. And I mean, this is not a new lesson for anyone, maybe, but yeah, being super proactive on those bigger things before they become very burning. And I just need to get better at that. And I don't know if you have anything that is like that is really burning right now, or is not burning right now, but it's going to burn in 6 months or a year from now, and you need to make a decision now. Well, start working on that now, as if it would be super urgent. So very important stuff just needs to be first. And one of the principles of 7 habits of highly successful people is to do the first things first. Well, another next point is going to be I just need to have better skills. And I don't know why this is in the category of wealth. This is from ChatGPT. I didn't edit this, maybe I should. But yeah, having better skills when it comes to money is actually a skill, and it's something that you can get better at by studying it and so on. And I know there's a lot of good people when it comes to wealth, is they're just very good at, well, they've studied that and they put in hours and work on doing that, and also being systematic with it. So yeah, having better skills with that. Next point, there's somebody out there that has done what I'm doing, I'm going to do next, and can show me how to get there without the mistakes. This sounds like I picked this one up, but maybe I came up with it myself, I don't know. But yeah, self-explanatory. We can buy ourselves, remove a lot of frustration by just buying ourselves the solution from somebody who has done it before, especially like the boring stuff. Next one, prepare more and be ahead of the curve. Well, what does that mean? That means, well, being prepared of what is coming up. And I know myself, I can be very reluctant to look into much of the future, even though I like to do it. I sometimes don't, and I should be doing it, and I should be preparing for that vision that I want to get to, and put that work in that needs to be done, and to be ahead of those things before they happen. And now when I think of this, I think this has to do something with like geopolitics that I picked up from Peter Science, and basically taking those kind of informations that he has and ask myself, okay, how can I be ahead of the curve here? Because that is usually what a lot of like very successful people do. They are kind of ahead of the curve because they just have their vision slightly higher up, and they're seeing what's coming up a bit earlier, like seeing a tide coming in, knowing it's going to come in, so you're already prepared when it comes in, and you're not just getting surprised by it hitting you. Next one is stress is just overwhelm, and overwhelm is just unclarity. And yeah, I don't know if you need to put anything more into that, but it's like, yeah, every time I'm feeling overwhelmed, it's just because I don't know what the next step is to do. And sometimes I know what the next step is to do, but I don't know. Meaning, one example could be just making one up now, but I need to buy a car. And I think the next step for me is to go to a dealership. But it might not be actually to go for a dealership. Might be actually just putting in a better question. Maybe just asking ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT what would be the best car for me right now with my circumstances. Ask me clarifying questions so I can give you more information of what I need to have this car for, and then ask ChatGPT to make like a market analysis of what would be better, and then point out the steps for me. What is the next step after that? And making like smaller steps might be the solutions sometimes to these overwhelmed questions. But yeah, sometimes it's like way more stressful stuff that makes us then overwhelmed. And it's like, what is the next micro step I need to do? And obviously we do this a lot in the mentorship. It's like finding out what is the next micro step. And sometimes I neglect that myself, and I need to have the reminder, what is the next micro step I can do? Maybe that should be a point itself, but like, what's the next micro step I can do? And that kind of comes to anything we do in wealth, lifestyle, leadership, or scale. What is the next micro step I can do? Next category is going to be lifestyle. Point number one is stop looking at what other people do. And this was the current one, but yeah, sometimes we just look at what other people are doing and we think, oh, I should be doing, striving for that, before we actually ask ourselves, is that really alongside the vision I'm looking at? And I don't know if I have a particular idea or like an example here, but I think I have. And this is like when you talk to some people that are really, they're not getting anywhere because they're constantly chasing the next like bright shiny object instead of just changing the real dream they're looking for. And that can be maybe the dream is sometimes not clear enough or whatever it might be. And I know for myself is that clarity, and I talked about that, is like if that clarity is not there, then we're just gonna go aimless a bit everywhere. So definitely helps to have a strong vision. Okay, next one is pack your bag. And yeah, as it says, it's like packing your bag for the next day of going to gym, pack your bag for your work trip, for your travel, have it done, have it set like the day before, and being prepared. And pack the bag is kind of it's just an example or analogy for many other situations, I would say. Number 3, this one is like a reminder to myself, but go to sleep. And I tend to be up late and go up early, and I feel sometimes really destroyed by the lack of sleep. And this has been like a lifelong poor habit, sometimes worse, sometimes less worse. But yeah, I need that reminder, go to sleep, like skip the reels and videos or scrolling, or sometimes just YouTube or whatever you're doing, or Netflix. Number 4 on the lifestyle list is schedule work on holidays and to the time that is 100% off. And this is like the reflection of when I'm on vacation, I still need to schedule myself work time. And I had a recent conversation about this, is that why should I take time off something that I really enjoy? It's just like with training. I want to train when I'm on vacation too. I might not follow the exact same progress. I might just do some jogging or running or skiing, but I still want to do something actively. And I think I need to have that, just like with the training during vacation or the escapades that you do during vacations. Like I still need to schedule my work time so it's like clear with my family when I'm going to be there and when I'm mentally not going to be there. And especially the longer it gets, I've noticed like there's a couple of periods, like at the beginning of vacation, I'm still really much into like the process of things, and I'm really excited about stuff, and it's really hard for me to shut down, and then slowly it gets down, and then after a couple of days I start to get like anxious because I feel I'm like I have tons of things building up and I'm not getting any outlet. And that might just be writing, but I still need to, I think I need to have like a structure for the 1 hour of work or 2 hours of work. And one good example of this was this fall I went to Sicily, and I was able to have that kind of focused time almost every day, and that made the vacation just so much more enjoyable. I could just, after that, turn off and be 100% present with the kids, and that was really, really good. The next point here is schedule vacations in August for the gym and reduce class hours. So that's more like gym related. Next one, don't listen to podcasts when you have to write. Simple one. Sometimes I'm listening to something, get an idea, start writing, and then I'm getting confused. I have to do that. Next one, if you feel like you have nothing to say, you have not learned anything exciting. Yeah, okay. Next one, don't spend time on politics that are not close to you. And yeah, this can be sometimes my things that I go out into and like I find it like interesting to look into the politics that are happening everywhere, and there are some people that are interesting to follow, and then you start to just go outside of the circle of influence that you have. But yeah, spend more time on the politics that are close to you is the next point. So yeah, taking that attention from everywhere else and just being more local. And that might just be like in your family, in your business, and yeah, be where you can have the most impact. Next one, tell kids the consequences before you punish them. And I think I actually do this very well, but yeah, put that reminder there, and it usually helps. And it sounds pretty hard to punish them, but yeah, hopefully you know what I mean. But it's like, if you tell your kids, sorry for talking about the kids and family all the time, but I think this is super important because it's important to me. And yeah, the kids are misbehaving, or they're making noises in the car, and it's annoying. And the next step is like, hey, if you don't get quiet, then we will remove screen time or something like that. And what you need to do is just tell them the consequences of what's going to happen, but then you need to ask them for the confirmation that they understood what's going to happen if they continue, and then rephrase and like retell you, mirror basically. So what did I say? What's going to happen? And I think this actually comes down to not only kids, but like you should do this in your business too. And it's to tell people, well, this is what I expect for you, and if you don't do this, this is going to happen. Can you tell me exactly what I told you now, so I understand you understood this? And then, yeah, they have to repeat, and usually that kind of takes out a lot of these problems. Otherwise, like if you go with a punishment without explaining that first, and they have to tell you that they understood it, they just feel like wrongly, they didn't accept the conditions. That's the problem with it. So they need to accept the conditions and understand what's going to be the consequences, and rephrase them to you, and now you're going to be having more responsible kids or people around yourself. Next one, tell your kids every morning and every evening that you love them. Do that. You can tell that to anyone, of course. Yeah, maybe you should do that now. Pause now, tell somebody you love them. Next one, getting an unexpected kiss is worth more than any gift. You need to be careful with this, but I hope you know what I mean. Sometimes it's just way more important to be there, really be there, than to do superficial stuff and buy stuff. Okay, next one, we're back to sleep. For better sleep, a better plan is needed, and your priorities need to be set. Our next point is be more organized. And yeah, self-explanatory. Next point is going to be start every day with a daily highlight. Pick a hard thing and reward yourself on that hard thing. This is like, I haven't read this in a long time, so maybe reflect on like, I haven't done this, and I should be actually doing that. So every time you wake up, think about what is going to be my highlight of the day. Something small, even like the dinner, the shower, whatever it might be. And then pick one hard thing to do and work on that day. And it brings me to another lesson when it comes to Elon Musk. He goes to every company he has and basically asks them, what is the hardest problem we have right now from his management team? And then he goes there and tries to solve the problem with them. Next one, remove toxic people. Also self-explanatory, but yeah, people that drain you on energy, and you know this usually by a heartbeat, try to remove them. Scale is the next category. And number one, hire right staff. Don't let poor quality staff be on your team. Yeah, self-explanatory, they'll drag everyone down. Number two, set the right expectations from the get-go. Yeah, again, setting those expectations, telling what the consequences are, and so on. Number three, keep strict to the process. And This is a reminder to myself that we need to do and stick to whatever the process is. And another reminder that comes up when I read this is that we need to keep on reminding other people about the processes that are and how we have to be strict on those. Next one is going to be, well, I already have this, prepare more, be ahead of the curve. Yeah. Scale again. Next one, pick up the phone and call. Yeah, sometimes I procrastinate on that and I'm a bad caller, I would say. I think so. Sometimes a phone call could just solve a problem very much faster and quicker. And I should be doing that more often. Okay, lesson for this year. Pick up the phone and call. Okay, next one. Have backup plan. Yeah, the shit hits the fan. What's your plan? Have it done already. Next one. Push record and publish. It gets better with the reps. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now. It's just recording and doing many of these recordings, hopefully getting better at it. And my next point is like, yeah, you don't become better at doing squats by aiming to start with your PR. So yeah, this is my back squatting with the PVC pipe, or however you might scale, or the analogy that you understand. Next point is going to be leadership. Hard fact. Hard facts comes first. Number 2, know how to celebrate people. And the lesson here is that, yeah, understanding each person's real, well, it's kind of called love language, right? But I think it's not enough to be having the right love language. It's also about being there exactly, or not, but like having that really close interaction of like, this, you did this well now, high five now, and not like 6 months later, hey, high five, great job. Like, for what? It has to be like that instant gratification on those things that are important to people or somebody who's doing something well, and it's something I'm been very poor at in all my life. So yeah, but a lesson I want to bring to this year. Yeah, this is maybe a quote. I think I took this from Dan Martell. But yeah, asking somebody doesn't have to be in business, but it can be like, hey, tell me what I have done in the last 6 months that has let you down. And yes, explaining to a person is like, hey, I'm not gonna argue with you, and if you just want to know, how did I let you down in the last 6 months? And it's good to just let people say those things, and also good as a leader to take those things on yourself and listen. And yeah, next one here is, I don't know, this is also maybe a quote or something I picked up somewhere. I know you say this from a place of love. And yeah, if you state that, then, and yeah, it just confirms that you're listening, and it confirms also that I'm not angry with you. Next one is, does proving your friend be wrong make you feel good? I don't know where I picked this up, but I think it comes down to when you have discussions, it's like you don't, the point of the discussion is not to prove the other part to be wrong. It almost sounds like Jordan Peterson stuff here, but I don't think it is. But yeah, and it doesn't make me feel good to prove somebody I like being wrong, if I really think about it. Even though short term it might be like, yes, I was right, I told you so. But is that really gonna make you happy long term? Everyone you go around and talk to, you make them feel lousy because you're just right all the time. Maybe being right is not the same thing as winning long term. Yeah. Next one. Nobody has to change for me to become successful. This is Dan Martell for sure. I've heard him say this many times. And yeah, it's a good reminder. Like, sometimes we tell ourselves like, yeah, well, if that person would have done this, and what if that person would have not done this? Like, no, it's all my responsibility. Next one, home office is bullshit. And I have to put some caveats on that. And it's not like that I'm against home office for in all eternity and in all situations. But no, I think home office is for many persons not really the best thing to do. We can just look at the ergonomical things when it comes to it. First of all, many people sit on poor chairs, have poor screens, and they have back pain and stuff like that. So we have all those ergonomical problems that occur. They don't have standing desks, and they don't have space enough, and whatever. And then we have the productivity part, where some things can be really productive. And one quote I have from Theo Herén, a Swedish innovator, he said, like, it's not be called home office, but it should be called here work. So basically you work where you're the most productive. And if you're not productive at home and you know that, like, you should not work from home. Like, you should figure out a better way to do it. And sometimes you're going to be very productive at home, and that's great. But if you know that you're not, you should pick another place. Same thing when it comes to creativity. Sometimes it's like, I'm not going to be as creative in my office, so I need to go to a coffee shop, or I need to go to whatever I need to go. And that's where I'm going to be the most productive. And finding the most productive place. And many times home office is not that. And I think there's also some very long-term bad effects that happens by being like just so much at home and not being pushed through those like daily inconveniences and so on. And I think we need to have that. We need to have some of that like feeling. And if we don't, it gets like the normal stuff doesn't become as enjoyable anymore. Long rant about that. Next one, have team meetings with your family. Yes, I'm not good at that. We need to do that. Next one, look for people to look up to. I do that constantly. And I think we need to have our people that we look up to, our heroes, and strive to be as them. And that's usually a way to, something I picked up from the summit last year was like, what is leadership? Well, what are the people that you admire? Like, write a list about them. Write a list about the people that you admire. They can be actors, whatever, like write them down. And then you ask yourself, why are you admiring these people? And what are the traits? And then you can start to ask yourself, like, well, how would this person handle this situation? And that is one way to figure out what is like the North Pole in those questions. And I think that was, I felt like I talked a lot, and I feel like this list is way too short for being lessons for one entire year. But those are there. And thank you for listening, watching, if you did. And I'm starting a new chapter, Lessons 2025. Bye-bye, and until next time, bye.